even though that we had been going together for 5 years, and like you said, we were inseparable, you know. But living together, once you start living together, you know, if something goes south, you know, you don't want the other person to be able to just say, well, you know what, I've got no stake in this, I'm out.
Anyone who has lived with others in a dorm or even a religious community knows that living together is not always easy. Students complain about roommates, and novices have issues with contrasting personalities. I know it is common to live together or have intimate relations before marriage. Ultimately, the best case against cohabitation is a restatement of the true nature of marriage and sexuality. The marriage union is a sacrament that you enter into with God, cannot be undone, and through which you give your whole selves from thence forward. Now, let's go over a few myths about living together that still exist. Some couples cling to the notion that trying out living arrangements will help them prepare for marriage, but living together lacks many elements of a true marriage. Thus, it is not really a true indicator. Marriage begins the continuous action of true, everlasting, self-giving within a complete union. Living together or engaging in a sexual relationship prior to the wedding lacks the full commitment and consent of marriage, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. It can also hinder the true intimacy which God intends. Cohabitation may seem to offer a sense of safety and security. However, sharing a roof as singles still leaves the door open to leaving. Rather than working to improve the relationship and to reach marriage together, the partners can be tempted to become complacent or just leave the union after all. Such a mindset devalues the goods, graces, and gifts of the sacrament and attempts to reduce marriage to a piece of paper, formal presentation, or mere ritual.
I presented the ring to her, and I said something to the effect that we've been together for a very long time, and we're at the point right now where either we go forward and make this official and marry, or else go our separate ways, and I don't want to go my separate way. So there's only one conclusion to this problem, and or this situation, and we decided to get married.
Often, couples fall into living together without a clear plan or objective. Slowly, more of your stuff finds itself at the other's home. More nights are spent together than apart, so no discussion is ever had. Communication is lacking, and if it doesn't work out, the separation isn't any easier. You will have to separate community property, pets, even children, and perhaps the hardest, your emotions. Living together does not necessarily increase the likelihood of divorce, but sexual feelings and attractions do become skewed away from their rightful role within the marriage covenant. Unnecessary temptations can ensue. Couples who embrace the church's wisdom on sexuality and decide to wait are always grateful. They elect to make their lives together special. This holy sacrament brings a new level of meaning into their relationship.
I think that the difference for me, at least, was that once we were married, it was a really nice shift from, is this going to work out, to how do you make this work out? So the shift is really crucial, I think, in that you suddenly have a really nice, with the commitment and with the vows, you have a very nice platform that you know you've both come to. So the question just shifts a little bit.
Some couples think they will save money and life will be more convenient by living together. But I would argue that these are temporary outcomes. The sanctity of a couple's union is worth more than some extra cash and free time. Someday, you'll look back at these long trips home or weekends spent apart and realize it made your relationship stronger. Going through tight economies and being forced to budget is good training ground for when money gets scarce in your married years. You don't need money, a house, or even a job to be a good, holy spouse. Let me ask you, do you want to be together because it is convenient and economical? Or do you want to marry because you love this person and are ready to commit yourself and your life to him or her? Neither your histories nor status regarding cohabitation and premarital sex will prevent you from being married in the Catholic Church. The past does not keep you from God, but I hope that this marriage preparation helps you establish values and behaviors that promote holiness and minimize challenges in married life. By forming our consciences according to God's revelation, we turn from sin and enter a new life.
Don't be afraid to ask the big questions like, are we really supposed to be married? Don't be afraid to say, well, gee whiz, what if we didn't have sex for a few months? How would that change our relationship? Well, you might need to find out because you never know what's going to happen in life. If you've got those rose-colored glasses on before you really know who you're supposed to be with, it can fool you and you can make commitments that maybe you aren't ready to make.